Hi, it's Claire Lockery again from Indigo Cocoons. I'm sitting by the river for a few minutes after finishing some work, and I wanted to spend a moment just talking with you all about a question that I see asked all the time in so many different places, in so many different versions. And that question is, how do I choose the right care provider for me? And it's really, really simple. Don't think about what anyone else's experience was. Don't think about your friends saw that this midwife or that obstetrician and they had a really great experience, so you should do that too. Don't even go there. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to stop all of that chatter, all of that pressure, and I want you to really feel, not even think too much, about what you want from your birth. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything particular, like, so it doesn't have to be something like, I want to have a home birth, or it doesn't need to be something as specific as, I want to have a drug-free birth. But I want you to think about how you want to feel. First of all, I don't care how I feel as long as the baby's safe. I need to be treated with respect and dignity at all times. I need to not fight. I need peace and calm at any expense. Okay, these are all perfectly valid, and that's fine. Whatever is going to work for you and what your needs are is fine. But until you know what those needs are, you can't meet them, can you? When you've sort of brainstormed on a piece of paper how you want to feel, then you can start looking at what sounds interesting to you. Does a water birth sound really interesting? Does a home birth sound like something you could be quite interested in? Does a medical birth with a private obstetrician in a private hospital with all of the medical gear and an epidural at 2 centimeters, does that sound kind of tempting for you? Okay, whatever sounds interesting, even if they seem to be conflicting things, write them down as well. And then you can talk to people. Then you can spend some time talking to people. You can say to your friend who loved her obstetrician and say, well, this is kind of what I'm looking at. These are the things that I want to feel. Did you feel that with this person? Did you feel respected and supported and listened to? Did you feel that your baby was safe? If that's your most important thing, let's be fair. The most important thing for all parents is the physical safety of mother and baby. For some people, that is all they care about. So if that is all you really care about, then make that the question you ask people. Okay? But if you, aside from physical safety, if you have other needs that you want met, if at all possible, then ask those other questions first. Okay? And then you can, gathering my thoughts, then you can go and talk to some care providers themselves. Once you've listened to what people have to say about different care providers, then you can say, well, you know what? What people are saying about obstetrician is actually really meeting my needs, because actually I've decided that all I care about is the physical safety of myself and my baby. And we have some worries that make it so that that's probably going to be something that's going to be really necessary for us. So I want the hospital with the best neonatal intensive care, the best obstetrician, the best at cesareans, because I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to need. Or you can say, you know what, the more I've talked to people, I've been really uncomfortable with what I've been hearing about private obstetricians. It really doesn't sit with me, and it doesn't sound like what people say is going to give me what I need. So I think I'm actually going to talk to some midwives first. And I'm going to make some appointments with some home birth midwives because they're the easiest to talk to. And I'm happy and I'm open to see if my birth centre midwives or the midwives at my local hospital are the most suitable fit for me with all my needs. But once you know what those needs are, it's so much easier to go to the care providers and say, do you do this? Do you offer this? For instance, a home birth midwife is not going to offer you an epidural at 2 centimetres if that's what you really feel that you need. She doesn't have the abilities, it's not in her scope, it's not how she works. But if you want to be not arguing or negotiating during your pregnancy, and especially during your birth, then you'd be better off going with a midwife. Okay? And once you've formulated these needs and ideas, if you have a doula or your support people, then you can go to them and you can say, this is what I'm wanting. And if it's a doula you're talking to, she'll be able to give you some really good ideas on where you can go to meet those needs. And she can come with you and talk it with you. When you meet the care providers, you are employing your care providers. So you don't employ somebody in your plumbing business, for example. You don't hire a new plumber to work for you based on what a couple of people probably said was, good about these general plumbers coming out of TAFE these days. You're going to actually talk to the person you're looking at employing. The same goes for doulas and care providers. Talk to them and decide if they are right for you, because you're the boss. That doesn't mean you don't listen to their advice. It doesn't mean that you don't take on board what they have to say, but you are actually employing them, and they are employing you in a different way. But they need to make sure that they can make the services. So if, back to my plumber analogy, if I was going for a plumbing job and I talked to the boss and I thought he was a bit of an arsehole, I would say, thanks, but no thanks, I don't actually want to work for you. So the care providers can do that too. But once you guys have got your needs developed and you have an idea of which system, so the medical or midwifery model is going to do that, and you've got some good recommendations from people who had similar values and needs to you, then you can meet the care provider, and then you can decide with pretty good information and a pretty good idea about whether this person is going to meet your needs or not. So that's my plan. That's my recommendations for how to choose the right care provider for you. I hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.